What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to be talking about an artifact that is very versatile, not because of its defense, because it's an energy artifact. No, we're not talking about Snowheart today, we're talking about Demon Bell. Longest time it was really good, and then Ormus Workshop came out and it kind of got overlooked at first glance, at least by a lot of people. I know a lot of the big brains in Idle Heroes on Discord and everything had huge plans for it, but now that we've seen how it works in the glittery and higher form, it's actually really good to energy feed your big burst heroes in round one. It's the strategy for a lot of people in Tower of Dream. It's the strategy for Void Vortex. It's the strategy even in some PvP lineups. So if you are interested and you want to know more about the Demon Bell, so first off, let's start with the basic version of this, the Demon Bell in its 6-star orange form. Now, this was at one point the rarest artifact to actually get your hands on, back in the day when A and B was actually one of the worst artifacts you can get your hands on. It's funny how things change a lot, but Demon Bell is a very well-rounded artifact, giving 18% attack, 14% HP, and 50 energy at the 6-star version. Now, it's very important that it is a 6-star fully upgraded artifact, because if it is lower than 6-star, it's not going to give 50 energy. It is, in fact, in the 1-star version, only going to give 25 energy. I believe it goes up 5 energy every time, but that 25 energy versus the 50 is kind of a big deal, because you need 100 energy to use an active. You start the round with 50 energy with every hero except special heroes like Unimax, who already start with 100%. You're going to need that extra 50. So this can be a very great artifact if you just want to throw it on a hero that does well with an active in round one. Not every hero is great with an active in round one, and other heroes are more of support heroes like Amun-Ra's and sometimes carries. They can do very well with an active in round one. They can help protect their team, drain energy, all those fun stuff. Now, when we do move over to the Ormus versions of the Demon Bell, there's a lot of things to talk about. So let's first jump in. I want to go, since Ormus is always open, I regressed mine so we can take a look at the different stages of the Demon Bell here, and we'll make it ourselves. So when it does get to glittery, nothing changes with the stats, just like most of them, but you get energy outburst. When the hero uses their active skill, the hero who has it equipped, you have 100% chance to increase all allies' energy by 10, and an additional 50% chance to give them an extra 10. Now, the strategy usually is, if you don't have enough to have 2 full splendid Demon Bells, the strategy is typically you build 6 Demon Bells, 3 of them into glittery. You have 3 glittery Demon Bells. That means you're gonna have an okay chance to give 50 energy to your other heroes that you want actives in round one. Is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. It's like, what, a 33% chance? I don't know. You guys do the math. But yeah, that's where you kind of run into the issues here. Now, once you upgrade it past glittery to our radiant version here, it's going to change. You're not going to have that bonus 10 chance. It's just going to be a flat 20 points of energy 100% of the time, which that makes it a lot more reliable. You don't have to worry about that upgrade. And then lastly, when you do get to the splendid version here, we'll jump back over here. We'll finish creating it out. Let's go check out our artifacts one more time. We got one right here. So you have a 100% chance to increase all allies by that 20, plus a 50% chance to get that bonus 10. So this was changed a little while ago to be a little bit better at all versions. And this is where you see me on my account using all of these Demon Bells for really fun round one shenanigans. Now, there are new game modes like Tower of Dream and Sealand where the enemy team will outspeed you, and that is where the Demon Bell falls off hard. In places like Void Vortex, Realm's Gate, where you're going to go before the enemy, Demon Bells are considered god tier, because you can get Jar to use actives to CC the enemies. You can get your attacks off before the enemies attack you. Once you get into places like Sealand 21 to 25 and Tower of Dream, the enemy is most likely going to go before you, unless you have a really fast team set up with Rogans and everything. you're going to want to swap to crowns in those scenarios. But let's talk about where this artifact shines the most. So let's start off with the Shadow faction. Annabelle can do okay with a Demon Bell because, of course, her magic puppet spell, making the enemies active convert into basically a heal for your team, is really strong. You can only have one of them up at a time, so there's really no point using more than one Annabelle, to be honest, but it's a very strong attack to have round one. On Kirimaru, not really one you care about having an active as much. Definitely not Eloise. Now, Tix is a very good candidate because his Soul Explosion does a ton of damage and has a chance to either silence or horrify the enemy as well. So, Tix is a good candidate if you are on more of a mid or late game account. A regular Demon Bell is great, and an upgraded one's just better in any of these scenarios. He can do very well with it. Ithaca, not so much. And then, of course, Gustin, again, can do okay with it because his Demon Totem is very strong, removing debuffs from your allies. He just has to have the totem down before he can start doing that, so he needs an active. If he can get fed the energy with upgraded Demon Bells, that's great. Otherwise, he might have to use it himself. But he is a bit squishy, so you probably want a crown on him or something. So typically not what you want. Other heroes, not so much unless you're using a regular Jara in Sealand for some CC. She can freeze, she can petrify just like Starwing Jara, but just in like a worse form. Next up, we have the Fortress faction. So Sai is not a horrible candidate for it because she has a chance to stun her mesmerized targets, but usually you want her getting an active in round 2. Definitely not Fiona. I mean, Inosuke can, but the whole power of his active ability comes from having a shield up. If he doesn't already have a shield up, well, it doesn't do as much damage. Same thing with Sherlock. If you're using him purely for CC, you can get an active in round 1 to hit 2 targets instead of 1 with a CC. Not really necessary. Unimax, he already starts the battle with 100% energy. Not worth it on him. Penny, definitely not. Valentino, we recently found out, it's actually kind of good if you V4 him and get him built up. So he is someone that you could use a regular one on, maybe an upgraded one, or in reality, just feed him that energy. Over into the Abyss faction, there's really not many targets at all that you want to use a Demon Bell on. The couple occasions that you would is probably Ignis, especially an upgraded one if she is fast enough to feed energy to another target. She gets a big heal off, she gives energy, and she also gives damage reduction. So very, very good target for that. Another one is Cruz. His active ability is going to give energy to a random ally, whereas Ignis gives it to a specific one. And of course, applies that weakness mark, giving 50% more damage to your team, essentially. Everybody else, that's a hard pass on that. You could use one on the Gloria. Her active is decent. It's not absolutely amazing. Flora is another good candidate because she does have her twining ability. If you're running her for CC, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And then we come to the best Demon Bell holder, I think, in the world, and that is Rogan. Rogan with upgraded Demon Bells, upgraded, not regular, upgraded, are really good. Rogans are very easy to manipulate and outspeed even your Transcendence heroes. One of the fastest heroes in the game that's not a light or dark hero or Transcendence hero. And he has a very, very powerful active that gives Bloodthirsty to his allies, giving them more damage and a heal. By far, hands down, in my opinion, the best Demon Bell, upgraded Demon Bell holder in the game. Olivia can do okay with it. Oberon can do okay with it. Everybody else, that's pretty much a hard pass. Now, when we come over to the Dark faction, 4C's, as little as people use him, it can be very good if you're going up against a team that has a ton of Rogans on them or buffers, because getting the Curse of Decay off in round 1 means you're going to detonate all those buffs into damage. That is really, really good. Drake is an okay one. Typically what you're going to be doing, though, is having an upgraded Demon Bell on him for PvE to feed energy to other damage dealers on the team. Carry is a great candidate, especially if you're running 2 carries. One carry with like a speed artifact and speed stone. The other carry with a speed stone and a Demon Bell is great to alternate when they're using their active. So she is probably one of the top 2 or 3 heroes to use a Demon Bell on, even just a regular one. Amun-Ra, another great candidate because of that Guardian Shadow, plus giving a chance to petrify the front row targets. Both are very, very good. Besides that, not so much. In the light faction, Andrea is not horrible with it, but typically you do want to build Andrea as one of your tankiest heroes, so he is last to die. No, you can use it on a Russell, a regular one, as you guys have seen, if you want Russell to get those round 1 active, so they can do big bursts with their Radiant Arrow ultimate ability here. There is active skill. It can be used, but it is not optimal. Ada is another good candidate to get her balance mark out very early on. She's very tanky, but again, she used to be god tier with a regular Demon Bell, not so much now. Another candidate is Belrain because she does have the buffing abilities on her active, and Michelle if you're looking to get a stun for something like Sealand. Besides that though, not really many people I use a Demon Bell on when it comes to Transcendence heroes, with the exception of Scarlet Queen. Getting her to be very fast, using an active and feeding energy to your other Transcendence heroes is typically what you see. You usually see one Rogan, one Scarlet Queen Halora, both with splendid Demon Bells feeding energy, or at least a chance to feed energy to the other heroes on their team. So the other ones, not so much. The Scarlet Queen, very good candidate for a Demon Bell. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Demon Bell is one of my favorite artifacts in the game. Hopefully it helps you guys out figure out what to do with your Demon Bells. And if you are ready to use Energy Feed, I'll see you guys next time.